Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your January 1st to the 15th, 2022 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's see what the cards have to say. January 1st to the 15th, 2022, Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At our root, we have the Lovers, which is Gemini energy, and we have the Hangman. There's a different way that we're looking at our love and our passion as we start the new year, which is actually very exciting. The Lovers also represents Gemini energy, so this is our sister sign. That means that it could be a little bit more complicated than maybe we want it to be. It can also mean that this time can go very smoothly for us. It can be like a sister, you know, our best friend, our greatest ally, and then also the biggest pain in the tush we've ever met in our whole entire life. So it just depends. And if you have sisters, you know how it is. So here that energy is coming forward. Also, if we have Gemini energy within our natal chart, that's going to come through very powerfully as a root form of our personality. So just be aware of that. Then we have the Two of Swords and the Six of Swords in our inner selves. We're going to have a tendency to be a lot in our own head during this time. And there's a real sense of moving forward. We're making a shift and we're going to start to see roads open that we didn't even know existed before. We have Justice and we have the Wheel of Fortune as our heart. Justice is also Libra energy. So if we have Libra energy within our natal chart, that's coming through very, very powerfully emotionally for us. And the Wheel of Fortune is showing change. Things are changing. Things are moving. Now, is it going to be something that we're going to be really ready for? Not necessarily. And yet it's going to be something that we want. So there's going to be a bit of apprehension around the change. We're entering into a new season, and there can be a time where we need to adjust, where we need to see things in a different way. We need to connect with ourselves more openly and more honestly. It moves us to the Hangman in the public arena and the Eight of Wands. So the Hangman in the public arena is we're seeing things differently, and we're really going to see that amplified in the world around us, in our waking world. And that's also having a great link to our rooted self. We're seeing things differently, and that's affecting the way that we're approaching the world in general. The Eight of Wands, things start happening quickly. It's like once this change starts to come in, there's not going to really be a way to stop it. And that's going to be really very much a good thing for us, because we're finding our passion back. But we can also be looking at things that were holding us back, times in our lives or certain scenarios around us where we think, why did I let this define me so much? Why was this the breaking point, or why was this, the tipping point for me? And there can be a need for forgiveness here when it comes to us individually as we're moving forward, because there is a sense of being more discerning with the energy we're letting in around us, and also being more discerning with the way that we are embracing ourselves, expressing ourselves. So let's look at the energy we need to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. So this is the Prince of Wands. This is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, and of course, Sagittarius. So we could be needing to be mindful of us, of, just kind of charging forward too intensely, too powerfully, saying, okay, I want this change, I want it now, and not really thinking things through. That can definitely be something that we need to look at and really understand. The Knight of Wands is also us being very attracted to this fiery, passionate energy of people who are going and doing and, changing things. And we want to be in the middle of that, but they're not thinking everything through. Their maybe immediate picture, immediate idea is really good, but long term, it's not going to be as good, or it's not as thought through and well planned as we thought it was. So just be mindful of this during this time, because we're so wanting this change, we're so ready for it, and yet we're also a bit afraid of it. So there's going to be this sense of, we'll just rip off the Band-Aid really fast, just go and just do, and then everything will be great. So just being a bit kinder to ourselves is going to be very important. Then we have our chakra energy, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. And this is the dream chakra, This is the third eye chakra focused around our dreams. We're going to be getting a lot of messages through spirit, through our dreams, through, unlikely information. So it's going to be unlikely information through a sense of not being as present. So it's almost like daydreaming. It's daydreaming. It's, looking at the world around us and letting ourselves kind of disconnect just a little bit and see what comes forward, because we're going to be very surprised at the information that comes our way, of the paths that start to open up. And that's going to be something that we're actually very proud of and very drawn to during this time. So let's look here, Sagittarius, of everything that's going on astrologically during this time. Okay. So we're starting off on the 1st of January with really spectacular energy. And we have two planetary alignments. Well, we have two alignments here during this time. We have the Sun trine Uranus. Now, the Sun trine Uranus this is the best way. This is one of the best ways to start the new year. This is a time when we are comfortable standing out. We are comfortable expressing ourselves. We also have no problem expressing our individuality and showing ourselves what we truly want and letting ourselves shine. Where there's going to be a sense here during this time where we're a bit apprehensive about this, or we really let ourselves shine like on the 1st, and then we think, oh my gosh, what did I do? So just be mindful here that this is a day to say, but this is me, and this is how I need to be, and this is where I need to be during this time. We will also be in tune with the world around us, and we'll be getting a lot of insight through our dreams, amplified by the fact that our third eye chakra is really opening up. Our dreams are really guiding us. Also on the 1st of January, we have Mercury trine the North Lunar Node. Now, this is another powerful and positive alignment. It is said that our life purpose is echoed between the North and the South lunar nodes. Like they tell us our life purpose if only we listen. And another astrological, metaphor for the North lunar node and the South lunar node is that the North lunar node is the head of the dragon, the South lunar node is the tail. And so our purpose is echoed through the body of us, through our passions and our desires. We will very much enjoy finding things out during this time, figuring things out, diving deeper, the whys and the how comes about people, about ourselves, about everything. We're also not going to take things really personally on this day, which is going to be very good for us. On the 2nd of January, we have the new moon in Capricorn, and there will be a separate video on this. The 2nd of January also has Mercury entering into Aquarius. Now, Gemini energy here at our root is ruled by Mercury. So Mercury is amplified for us during this time. Now, Mercury really likes being in Aquarius energy. It's a place where we're really passionate and we are really passionate about the outlooks on life. That's also why we can see ourselves changing our views on a couple of things, changing our views about like the way that we want to move forward, what we're going after in 2022. Because remember, 2022 is the angel year. It is the year of 222, the angel number of new beginnings. And that's really what everybody needs during this time, a new beginning, a new powerful, beautiful way forward. And what we have to realize is that it's going to be pretty much smooth sailing up till the 14th. Now, of course, this reading goes up to the 15th, and we don't have anything really big, astrologically speaking, happening on the 15th. So things end on the 14th here with Mercury going into retrograde, which is going to be rather big for us because, again, we're rooted in Mercury energy, and Gemini energy is our sister sign. So this is going to be something where it affects us. We might not be as sure why it affects us, Sagittarius, but it is going to be a big deal. On the 5th of January, we have Venus sextile Neptune. Now, this is a passionate day when we need to express our feelings. We're going to have a tendency not to want to kind of be too much or express ourselves too much. There's some energy here about holding ourselves back and saying, no, I couldn't possibly type of deal. And yet we're going to see a need to express, a need to understand. We are highly creative on this day, and we enjoy being surrounded by beautiful things, beautiful people, beautiful ideas. There's just going to be a sense of beauty really elevating us. Now, we are also very charming on this day. We exude a charm that we should absolutely take advantage of. This is also a time where self-care, and pampering, it goes a long way. It really helps raise our vibrational, our vibrational energy. It also helps to enhance our mood. So just taking time for us, that's going to be a game changer. That's going to be powerful. On the 8th of January, we have the Sun conjunct Venus. Now, Libra is ruled by Venus. So this comes through very powerfully at a heart level, at an emotional level for us. So this is the personification of love and of peace. We need to surround ourselves with beauty and give ourselves permission to express and to really embrace our emotions, express our emotions, embrace our emotions, and be one with our emotion. Just that emotional understanding is going to be really, really good for us. It is a time when we no longer, when we no longer want to be held back. And if we surround ourselves with low vibrational energy people or places or things that are really draining to us, we're going to find that it hits us like a bag of bricks on this day where we can just be absolutely exhausted. So be mindful of who we're connecting with, be mindful of, being able to take care of ourselves and taking care of ourselves. On the 10th of January, we have Mercury trine Chiron. Now, again, Mercury comes through strongly because of the lovers here, and because we have, and because they're ruled, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. There we go. So this is a harmonious aspect that helps us to heal ourselves and others. We will have a talent for saying the right thing at the right time. It doesn't mean that we always do, but we do have a talent of saying the right thing at the right time and really connecting with people. We will need to follow our own ideas and embrace ancient wisdom. We're going to find a lot of healing, a lot of insight through ancient wisdom, through, kind of an older sense of guidance that comes forward. Now, this could be through, institutionalized religions. This could be not through institutionalized religions. What it is going to be is a connection with the root of ourselves, with wisdom that has echoed through the ages and that we feel very connected to, very powerfully drawn to, and we really help move us forward in this way, and it really helps to move us forward in this way that just becomes a game changer. On the 11th of January, we have the Sun sextile Neptune. Now, this is a powerfully creative time, and it should be utilized. Neptune helps us to see things kind of like we stand back and we really connect with our dreams when it comes to Neptune. But we're also highly sensitive on this day. And we find ourselves being very mindful, very aware of our surroundings and the energy that we're associating with, the power that is moving us forward. There's also a lot of psychic potential. So if we want to develop intuitively, this is the day to do it, but also to know that it can be very overwhelming if we're not ready, because there's just going to be this sense of connection during this time, during this day, that is a lot, that is intense for us. So the 11th of January also has Mars squared Neptune. So Neptune is very powerful here, enhancing our sensitivity, looking for a higher meaning to everything, wanting to connect with the spiritual, wanting to connect with the esoteric, wanting to connect with more. So when Mars squared Neptune, this alignment brings profoundly varying energy. So on the one hand, it's the positive energy of bravery and glamour, yet on the other hand, there's the energy of intrigue and scandal, which isn't as great, So it's very much the energy of it's kind of like Hollywood energy. All that glitters isn't gold. And we have to remember that during this day. It is time to listen to our inner voice, our inner needs, and to not be pulled into the chaos of the world. It's going to be very easy for us to be pulled into other people's drama, just get pulled into it. That's why the Knight of Wands comes forward. It's like, don't just run off without thinking. Think things through. And you'll find yourself amazed at how it changes you, like how standing back and saying, okay, you know what, this chaos, it gets to happen, but I don't get to be, like a puppet on the string, always going when it calls. So there's going to be a power to us that comes forward on this day, and a realization. It's like we're changing the game. We really are. Now on the 14th of January, we have Mercury going retrograde, which is always going to be a little bit tricky. Now there's pretty much, again, smooth sailing as Mercury remains in Aquarius, and that's until the 25th of January. And then, after that, things get a little hairy. And then you have Mercury remaining in retrograde until the 3rd of February. So things are going to be more intense than we want them to be. And things are going to be more real, like more honest, more real, more kind of like a kick in the teeth than we had expected. So just being mindful of this is going to be very important for us. And it's going to help change us in a very real way. Now we have the Lovers at our root, and the Lovers is Gemini energy. This is really a sense of falling in love with life again. This is also a sense of the sacred feminine, the sacred masculine aspects of ourselves being joined together and saying, what do you want? What does the whole of you want? The subconscious and the conscious. Where is it that we long to be? Why is it that we long to be there? This is a game-changing time. And this is a time where we're really looking at things much more openly, much more honestly than we have before. And as we're doing this with ourselves, we're doing this with the world around us. And we're going to say, you know what, that just doesn't work for me. That's not what I want. And this does work for me. That is what I want. And there's a real sense of healing that's coming forward. And it has us seeing things so differently because we're looking at things from the heart. In Sagittarius, we tend to look at things from the heart, but also we're fire, we're passion, we're determination, we're focus. We want to achieve, we want to succeed, we want to go after what is needed at this time. And at this time, it's that connection with our inner self. At this time, it is quieting things down. And we might balk against that and say, I don't want things to be quieted. I want things to be moving faster. I want to be achieving my goals now. And the Hangman is saying, look at things differently. Look at what's presented before you. See how you can change it. See how you can change you. See what you're stepping into and see what you're stepping away from. And also see what your body is guiding you towards. There can be this change that's going on physiologically, like within ourselves. And we're thinking, no, I like being like this. But we're finding that our body is saying, no, slow it down, take care of yourself, be aware of yourself and connect. And it brings us to the Two of Swords. It brings us very much to this energy of, I thought there was one road or another. I thought there were these two ways to move forward. And now I'm seeing that there's so many more roads opening up to me. I'm seeing that there's more coming my way than what I had originally thought. And it can also be having to make a choice and also having to sever ties with certain ideologies or certain ways of being that we once thought, okay, it has to be like this. And what Spirit is saying is be kinder to yourself. Be more flexible with yourself because it's moving us to the Six of Swords. It's moving us to gathering up all our information, everything that we desire, and really seeing things changing, really seeing ourselves move forward. Now, is it going to be emotionally overwhelming at times? Absolutely. Are we going to doubt where we're headed and why we're headed there and, what's going on? Absolutely. But is it going to stop us? No, it's not. There's really a sense here of I'm being guided forward. And as I'm being guided forward, I have to be discerning with my heart. I have to be discerning with the energy that I'm letting in. I have to be discerning with, how I'm defining myself and how I want to move forward and what's right for me. And I'm finding a balance. I'm finding a work-home life balance. I'm finding a me balance for myself and not always sacrificing for everybody else. I'm finding a balance within me. And as I'm finding that balance within me, I'm changing me. I'm changing what I desire. I'm changing what I'm focusing on. I'm changing what I thought I could want or should want. And this becomes me standing in my power, in my brilliance, in my truth, cutting through doubts and fears and negativity. And all of a sudden, the world starts to change. I'm entering into a new season. Now, does this feel like we're on a roller coaster ride? Absolutely. Do we think that we're ready for this? No, we don't. But we never truly think that we're ready for change. And when we think that we're ready for change, oh, I want something to change. The change that usually comes, it's like, well, not that. Like, I wanted work to change, or I wanted this to change. But the change that comes our way surprises us. And this is going to be a time where things are shifting. And we have to be open to being surprised. We can't think that, okay, I know the way forward. Because what Spirit is saying here is that as we connect more and more with our hearts, as we look at what we love, we're going to start seeing that we're changing everything. Like, we're changing so much about us. Things start to open up that we think, oh, wow, I never expected that. Or I never thought that. Or, how could that possibly be? And now as things are changing with us and for us and around us, we are changing with them. And we're entering into this new season of being. We're entering into this new year. And it's like all of a sudden in the public arena, as we enter into this new year, this angel year of new beginnings, we start to see things differently. We start to see ourselves differently. We start to see what was expected of us, or, the demands of society differently, the world. And we're looking at, what do I need to connect with? What do I want? What don't I want? Where do I need to be? Where do I not want to be at all? And how am I moving forward for me? How am I moving forward in my passion, in my desire, and in myself? And it brings us then to, as we're looking at this and kind of taking it all in, divinity is saying, ready or not, here it comes. Divinity, the universe, however you see it, however you say it. It's like, ready or not, here it comes. This change is going to lead you forward. But this change is also going to happen rapidly. And the Eight of Wands is like, I'm not holding back. And as I'm moving forward, as I'm being pushed in this direction, I'm starting to see doors that are opening, but I'm also starting to see things in a very different way that I had seen them before. And as I'm doing this, and as I'm claiming me, and as I'm understanding me, I'm moving towards the unknown. And so the public arena can be a little bit scary for us during this time. There can be a shift that our body is screaming at us, like, I need to make this shift. I need to make this change. This is supposed to be happening. Are we listening? Or are we, pushing everything off and letting the chaos of the world around us have the more powerful voice than our own hearts, than our own selves? And that's going to be really important, Sagittarius, for us to ask ourselves during this time. There's a shift that's happening, and Spirit's saying, like, are we brave enough to step into that shift, to step into that change, and to move forward towards that? It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and that's the King of Pentacles. It's being very mindful of saying, okay, the change is coming in, this change is coming in. I'm just going to look at the monetary value of everything. What is everything worth? How is everything moving forward? And I'm going to let other people dictate to me what I should see as successful and what I shouldn't, because these people symbolize power, success, prosperity. They've made it. So obviously they know. They know what's right for them. Here's the kicker. People who have made it know how they've made it. But exactly, you might do exactly what they did, like to the letter, and it doesn't work for you because you're not them and they're not you. And that's sometimes a very hard pill to swallow, that success is different for each and every person. It brings us to our subconscious emotional message, which is balance. And this balance here is the root chakra. It's coming to balance with the sacred masculine and sacred feminine energy of ourselves, represented right here in the Lovers. It's coming to balance with the world around us, with how we're moving forward, where it is that we're going. It's also coming to balance with our own energy, with our own self, with our own soul. And it brings us to a place where it's like, this is the root of me. This is the very essence of me. And I'm balancing myself. I'm finding myself, finding harmony, embracing my harmony, embracing what my soul and myself needs. And as we do this, we have the subconscious inner self, rooted self, which is the Chariot, which is Cancer energy, right? So if we have Cancer within our natal chart, that comes through very, very powerfully here. It also amplifies the moon for us. So the new moon on the 2nd of January is going to be quite intense. And we're going to find ourselves needing to move forward with the subconscious and the conscious awareness, meaning that we're going to know when we're out of sync with ourselves. We're going to know when our inner voice and our outer voice just aren't aligning. And this is going to be a time where we really need to have ourselves aligning with ourselves, being connected, understanding what we want, and saying, this is me. It doesn't mean that everything is on our shoulders. Like, our own happiness is up to us, because sometimes life deals us cards and has us, walking through muck and mire that is so overwhelming that the only thing that we can do is grind our teeth and, be stubborn mules and say, I'm not going to give up, right? But that still is a choice. That still is a choice to say, there is brilliance and there is beauty within me, and I'm not going to let the world, just only give me rainy, gray days without any of the lush beauty and prosperity coming forward. And so this is a time where we're really starting to see consciously and subconsciously ourselves connecting, looking at what we want and also knowing when we're out of balance, because inwardly we're going to be like, oh, wow, I really don't want to. And externally we might be saying, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. And so the conversation within our head is going to be like, why am I lying to myself? Or why am I lying to the world around me instead of letting myself be myself? It moves us to our subconscious inner self, which is the Fool. It's taking that risk. It's going on that adventure. Every single hero is a fool first. Every single person on their hero's journey who are going to walk outside of the box, do something extraordinary, are laughed at and mocked and called fools, because that's not how the world does it. But here, as we're embracing ourselves, as we're taking that chance, as we're taking that leap of faith, we know, okay, first of all, I'm going to fall. There are going to be times where I'm overwhelmed and I'm burnt out and, this journey is just too much and too intense. But we also know that our hearts and our public self, we're on this journey. There's something pushing us forward. Inwardly, we're trying to reason everything out. Some things are not going to be reasonable, right? But as we're moving forward, as we're embracing us, it doesn't matter if they laugh. It doesn't matter if they don't understand. What matters is that we're going after what we need in the time that we need it, in the way that we need it, connecting with ourselves openly, honestly, and powerfully. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self, and it's the Six of Cups. A lot of things from the past are coming forward in the now. So we're going to have voices, saying to us, oh no, you can't do that because remember, you failed in the 3rd grade. You can't do that because your parents said you weren't talented. Your ex-lover, said you would never amount to anything. Somebody said you'd be a terrible partner. And those words have just carried with us. This is a time where we look at the negative things that people have said, which kind of stick in our head more than the positive. And we say, I'm done. I'm done defining me by your standards. I'm done defining me by your lack of appreciation for who I am and where I'm headed. Because these could just be people who couldn't see outside of their own small, minutia, their own small little scope of being. Like, this is how the world had to be, and if it didn't align perfectly with that, they were just absolutely done with it. And so this is a time with the Six of Cups where we have to remember the beautiful things in life, the beautiful connections, and then not let the past rule us at all. But say, I'm moving forward in the present. I'm moving forward towards what I need now. And that moves us to our subconscious public arena self. And it's the Two of Coins. It's finding balance. It is also finding balance for ourselves. We're going to be balancing everything for everybody else, saying, oh, I can do this, oh, I can do that. And yeah, we can put more and more on our shoulders, fine. But what happens is that we'll wind up collapsing. We'll wind up being overwhelmed. The Two of Coins is saying, I am finding balance within me. And as I put both my feet firmly on the ground, as I'm not, tightrope, walking the tightrope anymore, as I'm balancing myself, as I'm stabilizing myself, I stabilize what is around me. And I have to let some things go. And I have to give more attention to other things. And that's going to be really important for us. It's that connection with us. All right, Sagittarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this time. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony. Sagittarius.